What's happening? This is Lauren with Atlanta Custom Baggers. We are going to show you something that I whipped up this week that's going to help with some of the audio installs, installing some 10-inch mid-bass drivers in saddlebags, trunks. Really, this is more of a universal type of application here. So what I have here is something very similar to our mid-bag, right? You can see it. What this is going to allow you to do is recess a 10-inch mid-bass driver from the inside of an application. So the inside of a saddlebag or the inside of a trunk or anything that's kind of flattish surface, that's going to allow you to sink it in there from the inside of that. And what that is going to allow us to do is give us some more mounting options in things like maybe the Goldwing F6Bs or the Victory Vision type stuff, or really any of the custom trunks out there that want a downward firing speaker. I'm also going to say that we can use these inside the Vic bags pretty well as well. If you need it for the Harley, the mid bag is the way to go for the Harley. That is still going to be the option. This is going to be for the guys who have custom applications in the metric world, or like I said, in the Victory world as well, or just it's kind of a universal mount for a lot of things. So I'm going to show you guys what it does and why we made it. As you can see here, this is what it is. It's a recessed fiberglass application. This is made out of fiberglass, so you can mold it inside your bag, you can cut it up, you can add to it whatever. We can make it longer if need be. I've kind of modified this one just a little bit so I can shove it in this Victory bag as well as to showcase that. But what it's going to do is allow your mid-bass driver to recess into this application. So what we could do if we wanted to put a 10-inch sub in here, we don't have to stack a bunch of wood and then try to do it. This is going to mount from the outside in. So what we could do is cut, say, a 9-inch hole in our trunk bottom, mount a 10-inch mid-bass driver in here. It's going to give us room for that mid-bass driver to have excursion, while this mounts flush in the trunk. So you can bolt this down into your trunk, the speakers inside of it, and have excursion without it hitting the bass. You don't have to cut that entire hole out. Now, if you wanted to mount the entire speaker in and make this a permanent fixture, you could do that as well. You're just going to have to cut a bigger hole in the bottom, which isn't really as ideal for the guys who have mounts below. And so you've got your trunk mount below that. You can cut yourself a 9-inch hole in the center of your trunk. You can mount your 10-inch mid-bass driver right inside of it, which is going to be real convenient. You could also do is mount it on the inside of anything flat. So the Indians, the Victories, some of the metric bikes. I put a little notch in this one so that it'll clear that bag latch. But you can mount that sucker right in there, drill a couple holes, bolt it in, put maybe 5 bolts in that sucker, and it doesn't have to be a permanent fixture. That is the key to this product. It is not permanent. It does not have to be. You can cut easily a hole right out of the center here. What I do is I take a marker and I draw a circle. I drill a center point, I flip it over, I draw a circle on the back side of the bag, and I cut me out a nice circle with a jigsaw. This thing here will bolt right in. So your actual speaker is going to be preloaded into it. It's already going to be inside of this, and then you're going to stick it right in. Now, if you wanted to use this to glass over the bag and have a 10-inch recess, you could do that as well. You could make it permanent, but that is not what its initial design is for. Unlike some of the other products on the market, which require you to actually glue them in or glass them in or whatever as a permanent fixture, these will be removable. Put you a nice little piece of mesh or something on the inside of the bag, and if you need the storage space, you can take it out. Nice and easy. If you did want to make this a permanent fixture, the hole on the outside of your application is going to have to be the same size as the hole in the actual product itself. But again, this is going to be a universal fit for a 10-inch speaker, mostly mid-bass drivers. If you wanted to run a sub, you really need a sealed application. If you were going to do that, that's fine. The excursion is going to be different on all of them, but this is really for a mid-bass driver application. And I'm actually going to throw these in a bike this weekend. We're going to do some DS18 Neo 10Rs in it and let it pound another Victory. But I'm going to throw these up on the website. They're going to be fairly inexpensive, probably like $100 or $150 a pair for them, and we can knock these out pretty quick and get creative with it. Put it in all kinds of stuff, man. But these will definitely mount to anything flat. So if you've got the Indians, you could mount them in there. we'll send them out in more of a square application. You can just trim it to fit your application. This one's been rounded because we're going to stick it in a victory bag. But you can stick it in just about anything. If you are concerned about the gaps, all you do is get you some nice foam gasket seal, throw it in that sucker, and then bolt it down. And that'll seal that gap up. Nice and easy, a simple install, a clean install at AtlantaCustomBaggers.com.